All right, so welcome to this deep dive. Today we're taking a look at Inner Peace, Outer Abundance by Kim Ha Campbell.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard of this one. It's one of those
I
books.
know exactly what you mean. Like,
Part memoir, part self-help, all really good stuff.
yes, yeah.
And we're going to try to really get to the core of it, her beach success system,
Mm-hmm.
see how all her crazy life experiences kind of led to that, and most importantly, figure out what can you actually get out of it.
That's the key, isn't it?
So get ready for some pretty intense escape from Vietnam stuff
Oh, wow.
and some surprising wisdom about apples and 7UP.
It's amazing, right? How those like everyday things can become
Yeah.
so profound when you
Yeah,
the story behind them.
totally. Okay, picture this. 13-year-old Kim Ha Campbell fleeing Vietnam,
Wow.
but she wasn't even supposed to be on that escape boat.
Oh no.
It's crazy. Ends up separated from her parents.
Oh,
Pirates, Russian ships, even a stop on an oil rig. It's a wild ride.
talk about a crash course in resilience.
For real.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how this experience, it really sets the stage for her whole philosophy.
It does, doesn't it?
Like she goes from this, abundance of her family's restaurant in Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
to the scarcity of a refugee camp.
Right, right.
Makes you think about, like, what does abundance even mean?
What is it really? Is it just like the stuff you have?
Yeah.
Or is it more like that feeling
Yeah.
of freedom?
That's a question we should all be asking ourselves for sure.
Absolutely.
And this early experience, it really shows you, like, how strong Campbell was,
Mm-hmm.
even as a young girl.
Even then, yeah.
But those tough times, they didn't end there, you
Yeah.
know? She also went through some really difficult stuff, childhood sexual abuse, and the shame from that.
Oh, wow.
It got all tangled up with, like, how she first understood menstruation.
It's heartbreaking how these early
It's heavy stuff.
experiences, they can shape
Yeah.
our beliefs
For sure.
about ourselves.
Yeah. Even when those beliefs...
Even if they're not even
Sorry,
true.
Totally.
Totally. And Campbell talks about these as limiting beliefs.
Okay.
And she compares them to like running outdated software on your computer.
Makes sense.
You need a system upgrade
Right.
to reach your full potential.
I get it, yeah.
Right?
And I think we've all had those moments where we feel like something's holding us back,
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever felt that? Like a belief stopping you from going after what you really want?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We all carry these narratives.
Yeah.
The first step is just noticing them.
Okay, so another turning point in her story comes with her relationship with Dan.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, it's this whole roller coaster,
Yeah.
It actually ends with a near arrest over a drug package.
Talk about a wake-up call, huh?
It's a huge G wake-up call.
Yeah.
And that's when she decides, okay, I deserve better, and starts to really focus on personal growth.
She starts taking control.
Yes. And here's where it gets really interesting, okay?
Okay.
She decides to spend a whole year dating, but no sex.
Really?
Wow, that's
A commitment to self-discovery.
It is. It's like she's saying, okay, I'm going to figure out what I really want.
Yeah, to figure out what she wants in a partner,
Yeah.
but also what she wants for herself.
Exactly. And it's from these tough times, but also those moments of clarity that her beach success system is born.
Interesting.
And it's cool how she's drawn to the ocean, like that's her place of peace.
Ah.
And that's woven into like how she explains the principles.
Okay, so remind me what?
Beliefs, energies, acceptance, choices, hero,
Beach.
beach. Yeah.
Right.
And even the acronym itself, it kind of suggests this like holistic approach
Yeah, it's not like you pick and choose. It's
that all can be
and work together.
Yeah, totally. And this brings us to that story about the apple and the 7UP.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It sounds random, but
But
there's a deeper meaning there.
there is.
Remember how she starts in that refugee camp?
Mm-hmm.
Going from abundance to scarcity. She's craving an apple and 7UP. Simple things, right?
Yeah, things that used to be so easy to get,
Exactly.
and now they represent like,
they're almost unattainable.
yeah, this huge contrast
It's this whole contrast, yeah.
between her old life and her new one.
And here's where it gets good.
Okay.
Her sister ends up selling her wedding ring
Wow.
to buy her those treats.
Oh, wow.
It's a symbol of their old life, It's a powerful act of love.
Yeah, it really makes you think about abundance differently.
It does.
It's not just about stuff.
It's about connection, resourcefulness, yeah.
Yeah, it's how we take care of each other.
Totally. It's about finding abundance, even in those tough times.
Mm-hmm. It's about shifting our perspective.
Yeah.
Realizing that what we might see as lacking
Right.
could actually lead to
Yeah.
deeper connections and
Yeah.
unexpected solutions.
So with that in mind, let's dive into the beach system itself.
All right, let's do it.
And she's very clear it all starts with our beliefs.
Okay, beliefs.
So remember those limiting beliefs we were talking about?
Hmm.
It's crucial to identify them
Yeah.
and really challenge them.
Challenge them, right?
Like when her uncle told her she'd never find a husband because she wasn't a virgin.
Oh, wow.
Or when her boss laughed at her dream of making 6 figures.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Those are some serious limiting beliefs right there.
Yeah, they are.
But these experiences, they taught her to question those external voices
Okay.
and to define success on her own terms.
Makes sense.
It's about asking yourself, is this belief really mine? Where did it even come from?
Yeah.
Is it helping me or hurting me?
Those are powerful questions.
They are, aren't they?
We can all ask ourselves that, That's like becoming a detective of your own mind,
I like that, yeah.
right? Figuring out what's real and what's holding you back.
Exactly. And once you understand the origins of your beliefs,
Yeah.
you can start to rewrite that narrative and create beliefs that empower you,
I like that.
right, to live a more fulfilling life.
And it's not just about the beliefs, though, right? Campbell's next principle adds another layer. She calls it energies.
Energies.
Okay, and this is where it gets a bit more complex.
Okay.
She's talking about the interplay of masculine and feminine energies.
Okay.
Right? It's not about one being better than the other,
Mhm.
but finding that balance.
Finding that right balance.
Yeah, exactly. And she uses this really good analogy, childbirth.
Oh, wow.
You need the masculine energy of like action, pushing forward,
Mm-hmm.
but also that feminine energy of surrender, allowing things to unfold.
Okay.
It's both.
So you need both to
Yeah.
really achieve anything.
I'm starting to see how these like seemingly opposite energies actually work together.
Yeah, we need to take charge,
Right.
but also go with the flow.
It's both. That's powerful stuff.
It is, isn't it?
And she even offers practical tips like for managing negative energy.
Oh, okay.
She talks about consciously shifting your focus.
Or stepping away from a situation temporarily. Just give yourself a break.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Think about how you can apply that to your own life,
Yeah.
Work stress, relationship stuff, all those moments where the negative energy can kind of take over.
It can really build up.
It does. It's like remembering that we have a choice
Yeah.
in how we respond.
You do have a choice.
We don't have to let it run the show.
Exactly.
This makes me think about acceptance,
Mm.
that next part of the B system.
Acceptance. Okay.
Yeah.
So what does she say about that?
So she says it's about acknowledging the present moment
Mm-hmm.
without judgment, even if it's something we don't like.
Even if it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's tough. It's
Yeah.
about creating that space for a more mindful response,
So you're not just reacting.
Exactly. And she has this really cool acceptance ritual
A ritual.
with
Yep.
3 questions. What's great, could be great, and LSA could be great about this situation.
Okay, I like that. It's like even in the midst of a challenge, finding those glimmers of possibility.
Yeah, focusing on what's working,
Right.
even in a small way,
Exactly.
helps you to open up to new possibilities.
Campbell's own story is a good example of this,
How so?
She had to accept the reality of her struggles in her marriage before she could make a choice and move on.
Right, so acceptance comes first.
It does, and it reminds me that freedom often comes from acknowledging what I eyes, even if it's hard.
That's a tough one, but it's true.
It's true. Okay, so that brings us to choices, the decisions we make based on our beliefs, energy, and acceptance.
Okay, choices. So this is where the rebel meets the road.
It is. And here's the thing. We have way more choices than we think.
Really?
But those limiting beliefs we talked about, they keep us feeling stuck.
They can really box you in.
They do. And Campbell, she really walks the talk here, Think about her choices. Her unique approach to discipline with her kids, leaving Dan, even her non-traditional approach to dating.
She's making choices that are truly aligned
They are.
with her values.
Yes. Makes me wonder, are my choices lining up with what I actually want?
Yeah, that's something we should all ask ourselves.
It's a good question. But there's one more piece to this beach system, right? The hero.
The hero, right?
Yeah, this is the part of us that takes action,
Okay.
the part that makes those inner child dreams a reality.
So it's about like reconnecting with that sense of wonder
Yeah,
that we often lose as adults.
exactly. So for Campbell, her hero helps her overcome her fear of public speaking and build these successful businesses.
Wow, that's inspiring.
It is. It
Yeah.
makes me wonder, what dreams does my inner child have that need a little heroic action? What's one step I could take today?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
We all have that hero within us.
And Campbell doesn't just talk about this stuff. She actually uses the beach system to help others.
She does.
Yeah, she shares some really compelling case studies in the book.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, let's take a peek at a few of them. We've got Bill, who's struggling in his marriage.
Okay.
Lucy, who's fixated on having the perfect family.
Oh, I know that type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Oliver, who's dealing with intimacy issues.
So each one is faced.
They're all different, but the beach system provides this framework,
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
It's not a quick fix.
Right, but it's a personalized roadmap for each person.
Exactly. And I'm not going to spoil the endings, but here's what I'm curious about.
Okay.
How did identifying those limiting beliefs help Bill? What kind of energy was Lucy misdirecting?
Right.
And how did Oliver's choice to change his approach lead to a breakthrough? So much to unpack.
There is.
But before we get to that, Campbell throws in another curveball, okay? This concept of the dark ego versus the radiant ego.
Oh, the dark ego. That's a juicy one.
It is. This is where we get into the shadow side of ourselves.
Right.
So the dark ego, it's driven by fear, comparison, the need to prove ourselves.
Yeah, that voice in your head.
It's that voice, yeah.
That tells you you're not good enough.
Yes. It can sabotage our efforts even when we achieve stuff,
Even when you're successful.
Yeah, like that Dr. Campbell dated,
Oh, yeah.
who was all about status, validation, but he lacked inner peace.
It's a good reminder that true abundance doesn't come from chasing external markers of success.
It doesn't.
No.
It's about aligning with our values, living authentically. And then, in contrast to the dark ego, there's the radiant ego.
Okay, the radiant ego.
Yeah.
So that's connected to our...
It's connected to our true self, our values, our purpose.
It's about radiating your authentic light.
I love that image. It's like recognizing that our worthiness is already there.
Yes, it's not something you have to earn.
It's not. Okay, I'm really feeling the depth of this beach system now.
It's more than just a feel-good acronym, isn't it?
It's not just surface level. It's a journey of self-discovery and transformation.
It is.
And as we dive into those case studies and unpack the power of the radiant ego, I think you'll find even more to apply to your own life.
I'm sure I will.
Okay, those case studies. Got to hear more about those. Let's start with Bill. He's struggling in his marriage, feels like the spark is gone.
Yeah, Bill.
How does beach even help with that?
Remember how we were talking about those limiting beliefs?
Yeah.
Bill had some pretty deep-seated beliefs about what a husband should be,
Okay.
And they were really keeping him from connecting with his wife in a genuine way.
So it's not just about fixing the marriage on the surface, it's
deeper than that.
Yeah, it's looking inward.
Exactly. By working through those beliefs, he started to understand his own needs better.
Okay.
And how to communicate them to his wife.
That makes sense. Communication is key.
It is. Now, Lucy's a different story.
Yeah, she's all about that perfect family image, right? But it's stressing her out.
So focused on appearances.
Yeah. Where do you even begin with beach in a case like that?
It starts with asking, what does Lucy's inner child actually need? Turns out, all that striving for external validation, it wasn't actually fulfilling her.
Oh, interesting.
It's like her hero was focused on the wrong problem.
So it's about figuring out what truly matters, right? What brings genuine joy.
What brings that deep satisfaction, not just the surface stuff.
Right, not just what looks good on Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once Lucy started focusing on her own well-being, nurturing that inner child,
Yeah.
the pressure to keep up appearances just kind of faded away.
It's like she could finally breathe again.
Exactly. And that's such a good reminder for all of us
Oh, for sure.
to check in with our inner child, see what they need.
Okay, last one. Got to hear about Oliver and the intimacy issues.
All right, Oliver.
This one feels tough. Like, how did beach help him break through that?
Oliver's story, it's a powerful example of the power of choice.
Okay.
He had to make a conscious choice to change his approach,
Right.
be
But
more vulnerable with his partner.
I can imagine that's not easy.
It's not. It takes real courage.
But I can see how, once he made that choice, it opened up new possibilities.
It's like opening a door you didn't even know was there.
It's about taking that first step.
Yeah, and sometimes those tough choices, those are the ones that lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
They are. Man, these case studies are inspiring. They show that this beach system, it's not just a theory.
Just applicable, yeah.
It's real life stuff. Now, before we wrap up, got to circle back to that dark ego versus radiant ego thing.
Oh, yeah. That a big one.
I think it's so key to understanding how we get in our own way sometimes.
It is, isn't it?
Like that voice in your head that says you're not good enough or you got to prove yourself all the time.
That's the dark ego.
Oh, I know that voice well.
We all do. But how do we quiet that voice down?
Yeah, how do we let the radiant ego take over?
It starts with awareness, just noticing when that voice pops up.
Okay.
And ask yourself, is this thought even helping me? Is it coming from my true self?
So challenge those thoughts. Choose to focus on the good stuff instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more we connect with that radiant ego,
Mm.
the more we tap into that inner worthiness
Yeah.
and let that shine out.
Makes me think about this whole idea of inner peace versus outer abundance.
They're connected?
They are. Like,
Yeah.
we can achieve all this external success.
Yeah.
But if we don't have that inner peace, it's not going to feel like true abundance.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about finding that balance.
Right. It's both. And Campbell's story is such a testament to that.
It is. She's a great example.
She went through so much, but she found a way to create a life that has it all, both inner peace and the outer abundance.
It's inspiring.
It is. It's a reminder that we all have that power.
We do.
No matter what we've been through or where we are right now.
It's about recognizing that potential within ourselves.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into inner peace, outer abundance, what really stands out to you as like the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that true abundance, it's holistic.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your beliefs, harnessing your energy, embracing acceptance, making those conscious choices, and tapping into your inner hero.
It's all those elements of Beach working together.
Exactly. To create a life that feels truly meaningful.
It's a journey of self-discovery and growth.
It is.
And it's a journey we can all take. It really is a journey. And like any good journey, got to start somewhere, right? What's like one small step our listeners could take today to like actually use this Beach system?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it could be as simple as, just picking one limiting belief that's been holding you back.
Yeah.
And asking yourself, is this really true?
Okay, so start with the beliefs.
Yeah, or maybe it's taking a moment to connect with both your masculine and feminine energies,
Right, finding that balance.
Yeah, that balance between action and just being receptive.
Those are great starting points.
It's about finding what resonates with you, experimenting with these principles.
Make it your own.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
I love that. No, I keep thinking back to that line Campbell ends with, where you are right now does not need to be your home.
Oh, that's a powerful one.
It is. What do you think she means by that?
I think it's a reminder that we have the power to change things, to shift our perspective, to design a life that we truly love.
It's like she's saying, hey, if you're not happy where you are, you can change it.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this Beach system. It gives us the tools to do just that.
So if this deep dive has got you thinking, I definitely encourage you to explore more.
Yeah.
Check out Kim Ha Campbell's book, Inner Peace, Outer Abundance. Visit her website, maybe even book a coaching session, There's so much to learn.
It's all about taking that next step on your journey.
To inner peace, outer abundance.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
As we wrap up here, what really sticks with me is Campbell's like unwavering belief in herself, even when other people doubted her,
Oh, yeah.
She's teaching us to be our own biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's so important. We all have that strength inside.
We do. That ability to create a life we love. And it starts with believing in ourselves.
Couldn't agree more.
So as we end this deep dive, I hope you're feeling inspired, empowered, ready to step into your own greatness.
That's what it's all about.
Till next time, keep diving deep.
Did you get any of that?